Friends, Hariprasad is back with another lecture on soft skills. We have established that spoken English as a soft skill. Under soft skills series, the second lecture is Nuances of spoken English. What are the nuances of spoken English? Nuances, very important ones. Okay, nuances of spoken English. Right? Let us know in the soft skills series under cooperative lectures, I am now giving you episode 2 on soft skills. Okay? Yesterday we discussed spoken English as a soft skill. Today, nuances of spoken English. Okay? Now, what we see here, when you speak in English, you should be universally intelligible to others. When you speak English, you should be universally intelligible, understandable. Intelligible means understandable to others. Universally, all people should understand what you are speaking. Your speaking style should be intelligible, understandable to all people in the world. English in India is a non-native language. English in India is a non-native language. It is a Britishers' language, not Indian language. So it is non-native language. In a non-native situation, how we have to learn English, how we have to speak English, that we have to understand. For communication, LS, RW skills are sine qua non. For communication, what is required? LS, RW skills. LS, RW skills are required for communication. LS, RW. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. Okay? For speaking purpose, listening skill, speaking skill required. So, mostly you need to learn the speaking skill. In native language situation, children learn sounds and tunes which their elders habitually use in talking to them, and they become recurrent sound patterns to them as they imitate them. In native situation, English is not native situation to us. Telugu is native situation. Hindi is native situation. German or any other language, native situation to them. So, English is not native situation to us. That is why we have to learn separately. For children born to English people, they learn English. Why? Because their parents use sounds, whatever they use, they learn from childhood onwards. So, in native language situation, children learn sounds and tunes which their elders habitually use in talking to them, and they become recurrent sound patterns to them as they imitate them. In native situation, they become recurrent sound situations, recurrent sounds, so that the children learn easily. But Indians are in non-native situation in learning English. We are in non-native situation. So, natural acquisition of English language is not possible for Indians. Why? Natural acquisition is not available because they are not born to. Indians are not born to English people. They are born to Indian people. That's why natural language learning is not possible for Indians. Hence, conscious analytical effort is required to learn to speak English. What I say? Analytical effort required to speak English. Now I give you one quote by Charlie chaplain. Nothing is permanent in this world, including our troubles. I like walking in the rain because nobody can see my tears. The most wasted day in your life is the day in which you have not laughed. So, never be sad. Charlie Chaplin said it. His quote I have re-quoted here. Next, hence, conscious analytical effort is required to learn to speak English. Analytical, the way how I am speaking, my mouth parts are moving. Please try to understand, observe them, so you can speak. Non-native language entails a great deal of conscious effort. English is non-native language, so conscious effort is required. Be thoroughly familiar with the following fluent English speaking. So, be thoroughly familiar. I am giving you some here. Be thoroughly familiar with the following for fluent English speaking. For a fluent English speaking, what required? Phonetics required. Phonetics, sounds. Sufficient knowledge of phonetics is essential to speak correct English. Phonetics, if you know, you will know the sounds, how sounds moving, you will know. Then, phonetics is the science which analyzes sounds and elements of speech. Phonetics is the science which analyzes sounds and elements of speech. Sounds of speech are, hence, acoustic phonetics, study of speech sound produced by human speech organs called acoustic phonetics. Second one, articulatory phonetics, study of human beings. Articulatory phonetics, study of how human beings articulate the speech sounds with the help of speech organs. Third one is auditory phonetics, study of speech sounds, how they are perceived by the listener after transmission by the sender. These three types of phonetics you need to understand. The phonetics are sounds. Sounds correctly if you produce, then the language spoken by you, English language spoken by you, is intelligible, understandable to all people in the world. Now, let us start to learn pronunciation. 26 letters of the alphabet represent 44 sounds in received pronunciation. Pronunciation in English language, standard pronunciation, received pronunciation, like that many are there. But as far as standard thing is required, received pronunciation, which is RP, is used all over the world. So here, you know, there are only 26 letters in English language, in the English alphabet. They represent 44 sounds in received pronunciation. About 80% of English words are not spelled phonetically. 80% of the words, they are not pronounced phonetically. That means phonetics also, sometimes they don't work. From this you can understand. PUT put, BUT but. That means phonetics also sometimes don't represent the pronunciation. That is why we have to learn English pronunciation not only by phonetics but by word by word. Word by word. That is very important in English language.
Okay.
So that means 80% of English words are not spelled phonetically. Okay. So RP is generally equated with the correct pronunciation. Received pronunciation, which we call RP, is equated with correct pronunciation. RP is correct pronunciation. For pronunciation, sound system, that is the segmental features, they are vowels and consonants, are to be observed. For word accent, the super segmental features rhythm and intonation are to be practiced. Clear? So here, for pronunciation, what we have to do? Sound system we need to understand. Sound system of English language. The segmental features are there. The segmental features are vowels and consonants. They are to be observed. For word accent, super segmental features required. Super segmental features are rhythm and intonation. Rhythm and intonation you need to practice. If you practice rhythm and intonation, then that is super segmental features. Intonation means rise and fall of voice when reading or speaking. Intonation means where to go up, where to come down, rise and fall of voice. That we call intonation. Intonation is a musical element of speech. When you go up, when you come down, okay, musical element of speech. It gives rhythm what we speak or read. Intonation gives rhythm when we speak or when we read. Intonation expresses meaning, feeling and emotion. Intonation expresses meaning, feeling and emotion. Okay? Right? Intonation gives emotional value to a sentence. Example, close the door. Here the pitch is on the door, on the word door. Then the sense is that of a polite request. Next one is stress or accent. You should know where to lay stress, how to speak rhythmically and how to intonate properly. That's very important. So, stress accent in English. You should know where to lay stress, where to put stress, where to lay stress, how to speak rhythmically and how to intonate properly, where to go up, where to come down. Stress is the degree of force which a sound or a syllable is uttered. Stress is the degree of force which a sound or a syllable is uttered. That's what stress is. Stress gives an English sentence its characteristic rhythm. Stress gives an English sentence its characteristic rhythm. Rhythm in English means periodic recurrence of patterns of sound. Vibration of vocal cords create rhythm which is voice. See, vocal cords. See, vocal cords here. See, vibration of vocal cords. Actually, cords, C-O-R-D-S. So, the wrong mistake it is. It's not correct spelling. It is C-O-R-D-S. Vibration of vocal cords create rhythm which is voice. Vibration of vocal cords. Let us learn one message now. Words can't express what I feel for you. It is also difficult for me to prove. But I know my heart is true when I say I am very lucky to have friendship with you. A good understanding and relation of nice friendship gives heaven in our life. Make it in mind. For adult male, vocal cords, yes, cords, C-O-R-D-S. This is correct spelling. The other one is not correct. For adult male, vocal cords vibrate approximately 120 times per second and nearly 200 times a second in case of female adult. So, for male person, vocal cords vibrate. For female person, 200 times. For male person, 120 times. For female person, 200 times the vocal cords vibrate. The frequency of vibration determines the pitch of the voice. Frequency of vibration. That only determines the pitch of the voice. The more rapidly the vocal cords vibrate, the higher will be the pitch. So, vocal cords more rapidly, if they vibrate, then higher will be the pitch. Okay? Functional grammar. Let us know functional grammar. For spoken English, functional grammar required, not a traditional grammar. Traditional grammar is set of rules and principles. That is not required. For spoken English, functional grammar required. Listening skills. For spoken English, devote time to listening. If you devote time to listening, you can, by their speaking, if you listen, by listening you can learn lot of things. For good pronunciation, watch English channels like BBC, etc. For right pronunciation. Listen to Konapalli Hariprasad speeches and lectures to get perfection in listening skill. Language laboratory. Language labs are wonderful for enhancing listening skill. You hear the recorded lesson through headphone. You can compare your own speech with that of the model, that is the speaker on the tape. When you imitate, you also learn that type of pronunciation. Now coming to vocabulary. You can become a good speaker of English if you have storehouse of words. Learn 10 words every day to enrich your vocabulary. Without words, what you do? You can't do, no? Spoken English will be in your grip. All you need is a conscious and systematic effort. Attend classes conducted by Hariprasad. So before summing up what I say, the nuances of spoken English we have learnt now. You have to go deep into that. But here for this lecture, for this episode, this is sufficient. Before closing this episode, I tell you 3 rules for success. Trust your brain. Trust yourself. Trust Konapalli Hariprasad. You become winner in life. Carpe diem. Thank you, Hariprasad. Signing off.